Woo! That feels great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like shit.
No, it feels good.
Why did you volunteer?
Oh, kind of interesting.
Trying to be brave, you know?
Yeah, that's right. I'm aspirationally brave.
Yeah, it's good. So we can, use our heel if we want to get in deep. And again, the great thing about this is we really got gravity on our side, haven't we? So I can achieve quite heavy pressure and it's not too strenuous on my body. It's still a little bit, but it's not too bad. I can do more pinpoint work with my toes. Get into some, I had a guy, actually he was from New Zealand in my Gympie class a few years ago. He was an New Zealand Army sergeant in his 60s, and the guy was tough, and his feet were like concrete. It was so hard, even with tools and everything, it was so hard to get into his feet. And I ended up working on his feet by going as heavy as I could. I had a couple people giving me balance, and I was not just pushing pressure, but twisting, and I was 30 kilos heavier.
All right.
And that's what got him to release, and he started to then we could get in. Otherwise, he was there's a few people I call concrete man, They're tough as guts, and that's what really did it. It was the thing that broke into the fortress, and there's no way even with our hands we could have done this. I'm literally talking like 3 or 4 times the amount of pressure I'm using right now.
You give it a wee bit more and just see how I feel.
Yeah, what are you feeling there, Dan? Because I hear you.
So, man. Give me some more, just a bit.
Can I just give? I'm sorry, I can balance. It's never my strong point, Somebody who's a good surfer or a ballet dancer or something can, That's all my weight. And say I become
not
quite.
As bad as I expected.
No, I'm a lot lighter.
Wow.
And there's me pushing in with my back foot. And nothing like a bit of a jiggle in there as well. So, and then we've got the arch of the foot, which is a bit more like nurturing and it's not too intense. And of course, we get the ball of our foot. But yeah, it's more nurturing. But if precision is your toes, just like with your fingers. Okay, and heavy weight is your heel. I don't know if you can feel this, Dan, but it's a bit tight in there.
Yeah,
I guess the sign language of the other foot kind of.
That's more than you've given me yet.
Yeah. Well, it's on a tighter spot. I'm actually not going as hard as I was when I had my full weight on you.
This is pretty fun by comparison to the chopsticks and the tools and stuff.
Well, it's quite different. It's a broad, because obviously you got nothing precise on your body that can, like a chopstick, right? But it's heavy, right? It's heavy pressure.
It's far out.
Yeah, it is. And it really will get the blood flow coming into the feet. It can be either used as preparation before you do some detailed work, or because then the foot is warm and it's a lot of blood flow. And you've got rid of any tension that comes away nice and easy. And in particular, like if we look at this foot, it's like this area. This is the area I was saying even with tools and things like that, we work with that bottom little toe band. Okay, that's one of the areas that I find needs the heaviest pressure. So you can see my pressure is on the equivalent of that part of his foot right there. Don't do too much heavy pressure on the toes. It doesn't feel that great, the heavy pressure. So you can't even come in and twist and stretch his ankle. Does that feel good?
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's
No, it's interesting because it looks like it's gonna. And so my toes now, I'm doing more of my toes in here, which is a lot more sensitive area. But it doesn't require as heavy a pressure as here does. So I couldn't really get the pressure he needs with my toes in here. Can you feel how that's kind of not heavy enough?
Maybe, yeah.
He's like, I don't want to, But whereas here, look at the difference. I can, really. And again, your angles are important, right?
So How long would you do that for?
Maybe a few minutes until the point where you feel like nothing's letting go anymore. And then we can even have a.
So would you do, when someone comes in, do a diagnosis and then get them to lie down and...
I find this particularly good for like heavy men.
Yeah.
You know, like carpenters, people with these feet that, like I said, with that guy from the army thing, concrete feet, you know? Do you want me to do the other one? Or does somebody else want to practice the other one?
It would be really good.
Or do you want to feel the difference
yeah.
now between his feet?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Can you tell me